Hi, this is Joe McNally for Adorama TV, and today I'm going to talk to you about exposing your foreground to gain control over the exposure in your background.
Adorama TV presents Photo on the Go with Joe McNally, where you'll go behind the scenes to see how great photos are made.
Okay, so for this example, we're going to deconstruct a picture that was published in the National Geographic. The pilot, Ken Collins, is one of the last pilots of the SR-71 Blackbird, which was this formidable, amazing-looking, incredibly fast airplane, the fastest airplane we know about, actually. To do a portrait of Ken, naturally you want the plane. We're out at Edwards Air Force Base, out in the open desert of California, blue sky country. So I have an existing exposure down on the tarmac. Let's call it around 250 at f8. It's still fairly bright sun, even though the sun is going down. So we've got the plane edging into my frame like this big kind of needle nose thing right in here, okay? So improbably, I stood him on the airplane. So he's up here, standing there, okay? There's my subject. So behind him is blue sky. Over in this direction is fading sunlight, right? And it's starting to pick up a color because it is getting towards golden hour. My camera's here, okay, ready to expose. If I expose at the existing available light exposure, I will get a nice exposure. It'll be properly exposed in here. But what happens up in here to the sky? If I expose here, the sky goes very pastel, maybe even edging towards white. Remember, your eye is this amazing instrument and seamlessly makes the adjustment between the perceived exposure here and the exposure up in here. We transfer it back and forth, no worries. The camera chip can't do that. So what we need is to boost the exposure down in here. So to make that happen in a seamless way, a non-noticeable way, I simply put up a big power pack right here with a long throw reflector head. Okay, so this is a 1200 watt-second ProPhoto pack. And I put over the long throw reflector a gel, a warming gel, a CTO, okay? It takes that white light and makes it more the color of the fading sunset. It warms it up. And then nothing fancy, no light shapers, nothing like that. The light is a considerable distance from my subject, probably 30 feet or so, and I just ramp that power pack up full blast and I just slam it at him. So the light looks like raw late daylight as if it's emanating from the sun. And what does that do? It amps up my exposure in the near term, which allows me to stop down effectively up front, which increases my saturation level. He's still well exposed because of the additional light I'm supplying, but what gets more rich, more textured, more saturated? The sky. The sky becomes this cobalt blue. So by gaining a handle on the exposure up front, I also am able to affect the exposure in the background. And the key to it is to use a light up front that doesn't draw attention to itself. Hence, this light is the same color as the fading sun. It's also on the exact same angle as the fading sun. Hi, Joe McNally here for Adorama. Be sure to check out Adorama's latest contests to win prizes. One of the keys to a shot like this is actually using what's called a long throw reflector. Highly polished, very deep dish parabola, which collects your flash, your strobe light in here and really punches at a great distance. This is an Elinchrom long throw reflector. Back at the time I was doing this picture, I used a ProPhoto pack. Now for this, I would use an Elinchrom Ranger, which is our system that we're using currently. Hence, we have an Elinchrom long throw. It's a really great way to take light and throw at a great distance. Once again, this is Joe McNally for Adorama TV, and stop by Adorama TV. I've got a whole bunch of these deconstructing videos up and running with a whole bunch of, hopefully, helpful tips.
Do you want great-looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy-to-use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use AdoramaPix.com.